Come back and talked about the kids, talked a little bit. Sorry I'm late, but I'll explain why as soon as I come back. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, work for all my life, and I had to start again, just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in their American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave their right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. But there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Yes, God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. I was a little bit different version tonight. As my whole day has been, I've been running late the whole day. I had a day today where I had to pick the little monkey up from school. So since my daughter was going to go on a field trip with my other granddaughter, Patriot Super Gymnast, I not only had to pick her, the monkey, up, but I had to be there for Patriot 7 to pick him up at the bus stop, get him ready for his ball game tonight. And then his ball game was at 6. I left early. He was having a really good game. He had a triple and a single, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. We're not going to talk about stolen bases because in that league, if you get on, you steal. But there was a kid picked off tonight. And I told his mother, I said, he's going to pick a kid off of first tonight. His mom didn't believe me. He's a young kid that's really a good little ball player. But he's really, really small, but he puts his heart into it. And standing there watching, sitting, whatever, watching these kids play, it reminded me of when I was that age, and kids just don't have the desire that we had. But of course, then we didn't have computers, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have tablets, we didn't have color TV. Heck, when I was that age, we had just barely got our first TV. But we played baseball. We ate hot dogs. We loved apple pie. And if we could do it, we drove a Chevrolet. Remember that commercial, everyone? So anyway, I'm not going to keep people long because I know people on the East Coast. It's pushing 9 o'clock already, or it's a little after 9. So I don't want to keep you here late. But I did want to do the show just because of a few things we have. But I'd want to talk to the kids. And I want to talk about some things with them, and Super Jimmy and a lot of things. Patriot7, Karate Kid, Wyatt Earp, our princess, our little queen, and then Hunter, her brother, Boogie, Bugs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogs. John's grandkids, Leona, she loves playing with her blocks. She's gotten so cute, so big, so quick. And then Leland. And that is all of our kids. But see, I was talking to Patriot Diane with 2 N's today. And I'll explain to everybody why I was talking to her later when I get into the adult version. But I was talking to her, and we got talking about the kids. Naturally, the little monkey was running around, and I would show her, because the little monkey knows Diane when she came to my party. And it's just, we're putting so much emphasis, so much love, so much support in these children. But they've got to be able to step up. And I'm not asking them to step up now. I'm not asking them to run the country now. I'm asking them to be willing to do what we're going to teach them needs to be done. Hi, One Voice. Janet, good to see you. There's just so much going on. There's so much going on sometimes. It's hard to realize what's happening. And, I haven't lost any of my dreams. Patriot 7, I still have the dream of buying a ranch. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about that tonight to Ella, my granddaughter. Ella loves the school district she lives, not because she loves the school district, because this is where her friends are. She's in 5th grade. This is where her friends are. And she says, Papa, as much as I'd love to live close to you, she says, maybe I want to stay here because I'd lose all my friends. I said, but you'd make more friends. But then I'm not going to push her, see, because I remember there's no way I wanted to move and leave my friends behind. And I had friends that when I was growing up, they moved. And I remember one in particular was a girlfriend. But I remember in particular how it felt when you lose somebody that you've went to school with your whole life. When someone comes in, I watch these videos, how these bullies, they bully these new students into the school. Man, going to Buckingham grade school, we used to do jumping jacks with excitement when a new kid would come in. Because we were kids that knew how to be kids. And I really and truthfully believe That's why we were chosen. Janet in one voice, Jeffrey. I believe that's why we were chosen to be here, to teach the kids how to be kids again. And we'll do that. I mean, you know, I talked to Linda, I talked to Mary Ann. You know, I had a nice little conversation the other night with Cindy going over some things because we're that close. But as far as the kids go, we're just asking you to be there, to want to learn what we're going to teach you. Because, see, we're at a point in our lives, once we get you taught, we need to step back and enjoy life. Enjoy the finer things. And it's funny because going from the kids and that concludes the kids version tonight. It's something that this video is not made for kids. They can watch it under the discretion of their parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. And the music that we played is not our music. We have nothing to do with it. We have no legal rights to it. It's there and we use it. And when you tell people something like that, as I said, I was talking to Patriot Diane with 2 N's. And our discussion was about Easter, some of it. That's not the reason that we actually had the conversation, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it led to Easter. And I seen Patriot Diane post something the other day. And I wanted to agree with her. It was about, that P-O-P-E, Popey. It was about him. And what she said, she really laid it on the line. And I was proud of her. And I congratulated her. But I didn't say the things I'd want to say because it's not for me. And as she said, she posted that, but one of her sisters, someone she knows, it wasn't a sister, someone she knows didn't appreciate it. And I said, why is it we are getting caught up that the more we tell the truth, the more we tell the truth, the more people think we're lying. And I don't talk a lot about things like this because this has got something that's got to come out and it's got to grab everybody by the kawawabungas. It's got to reach across and just grab them. And they're going to have to understand and believe it. It's going to have to, when we talk about these movies that's going to be played, it has to get these people to watch. But see, I even think more so what just happened with this Poppy, this man. I truthfully believe our leader has to come out. And he has to make mainstream media news broadcast this. And not only broadcast it, but keep bringing it on the news where people's going to watch it, where they're going to see. They're going to see what's going on. And it's going to be a situation where they're going to learn what happened and what is happening. Because if we don't come up with some special way, there's going to be a lot of people that's not going to be around. And you know what I mean by that. I mentioned the other night the Catholic faith, and I honestly say, I really feel sorry for true 100% blessed Catholics or people who grew up that way but have now seen the light a little bit. Because I don't care if you've seen the light, when you believe in something the way they believed in it. When you believe in something that they believed in the way they do, there's going to be a sting, a hurt, something that you just can't. Let's put it this way. A good thing to go into, if you was looking to make money, would be the people who talk to people, and try to help them. But it's something that I do feel sorry for them, because I don't know how the devout Catholics, I think that's the word I'm looking for, is going to be able to handle this. But see, that's where these special beds can come in, because even no matter how they get, they can always get help with them. And that brings to another thing. And I mentioned the other night, and I'm not going to elaborate on what I'm about to say much, because I believe he's trying his best. He's doing the best he can. But I also believe that Easter, he had one heck of a day. There's other people that was homeless. And what a better day to bring this to the world than that day there. He asked us, when he would become in charge again, he asked us very nicely, I'm going to need 90 days. Period. I'm going to need 90 days. It's over 90 days. And you know what? Someone can't come to me and say, well, we're on the other calendar. I don't care what calendar you are. He's had his 90 days plus. And I'm really hoping and believing that we're going to see something quick. And that's what brings me to the conversation with Diane today. Because she told me today that TNT Tony, she said, you don't have to listen to all of it. I haven't listened to it. I had one of those busy days, trying to get a little girl down for nap, trying to get a little guy to his ball game, trying to watch a ball game, and then get home to do a show. But, there's just so much that's going on. But there's so much that should be going on. If you understand what I'm trying to say there. I'm wondering if the chat is not working, because
it's just sitting there.
It has not moved for me. So it looks like the chat's down. I don't know. There's nothing I can do to fix it. But maybe they want you guys to pay attention to what I don't have tonight. Because as I had this really, really great talk with Diane, and we both went through things where we believe in something. I had a great Easter with family, friends, and loved ones. I had a great Easter, but I kept my mouth shut because I knew that if I would talk about things. But I do have a couple of nieces who, as young girls, they had trouble with female parts. And when they finally got help and got it straightened around, it was too late. And even though both of them's in their 40s now, they would be the greatest moms in the world. They've already told me when this happens, they will gladly adopt 2 and 3, 4, whatever. And they will be great at it. But they would love to have their own child. And, when you talk, they would love to have that. Maybe these beds can allow that. And Friday was Good Friday last week. I used to call it Great Friday when I worked because I got the day off. But my sister held her last annual Easter day for all of the kids. She said she would do it until her youngest grandchild was ready to graduate high school, and she'll be graduating in just a few weeks. And it was a really good day. And I'm standing out on the deck watching the kids have fun with the Easter eggs and coloring them and hunting them and just having a good time. And my one niece comes out and she said, Uncle Ralph, have you heard any more? And I said, I don't really talk about it like that here. She says, well, I want to talk about these special beds. And my son was standing there. And my son looked and she said, I said, I don't talk in front of him about it. He's a non-believer. And she says, I don't care. You've given me stuff. I've done research. I want them. And I'd rather live, and this is my feeling, Skies too. I would rather live in a world where we're pretty sure we have something like that. We're pretty sure we have something to fix our food like the Jetsons used to have. Was Rosie the best maid ever? Of course, I liked Hazel. So I don't know if Rosie was the best. But Mary Ann just loves Rosie. But think about it. Wouldn't you rather live in a world that you think your foreign currency is really good? You think we're going to get gold back standard. You think we're going to get all of these great things and we're going to be living kind of like heaven on earth. You think we can live to be 100, 150, 200 or more. Isn't that a better dream than my brother Russ looking at me and saying, hey, all I care to do is live until my last granddaughter, my last grandchild, and he's only got 3. My last grandchild gets married. His youngest granddaughter is 13 years old. I like the idea of thinking I might live to be 100, 150, or 200. I like the idea that I can get my dog on one of these beds and the dog can live to be 25 or 50. I love this idea compared to, whoa, if my granddaughter gets married at 22 or 23, I'm under single digits of how much longer I'm going to live. And I think if more people would take the idea they like something like this instead of going the other direction, you would see the world being a lot better. That's my opinion. But Diane, when she did send me this and she talked about Tony, she said Tony is predicting it could happen. Tony has always been one that has said if it happens, when it happens, not if, it's going to happen. But when it happens, it's going to be after 5 p.m. at night. I don't know if it's 5 p.m. Eastern, Central, West Coast, or what. But it's going to be after 5 p.m. The only reason it hasn't happened already was because supposedly, according to Tony, there was 2 countries that have not complied yet. But they should have been taken care of sometime today. And I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion, there's 2 countries that haven't complied. You know what's going to happen? If they don't comply, they're going to be just like a bank. Instead of other banks taking them over, other countries are going to take them over. But a question I have, and this is a question that burns deep in my soul. How can a man who is a billionaire bring another billionaire in, and all they're trying to do is what my hat says right here? That's all they're trying to do. And people are mad. Now, there's certain groups of people I can see be mad because they're not getting their cuts. You know, this one guy that was the first of his color to be a certain thing in our world, our country. He's not getting his cuts. Sleepy is not getting his cuts. The one guy is not getting his girlfriend, you know where. You know, and it's a kid's show, so I'm keeping it clean. But, you know, they're not getting their money. So what's happening? This money is going back to us. My goodness, I just seen where they just found how many thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions more people that are over 120 years old, or babies who's getting all this. Are you kidding me? This is There's no words that we can describe what this is. But Tony is saying it's going to happen. I have not listened to Bruce. I know that I have Bruce's reading here. And if I can find it, no, that's the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong one. Oh, I got to go this way. I got to go roundabout way. Come on. If I can find Bruce's reading, I know I have it here. I want to take a look at it. I want to show you guys a picture. This is my little granddaughter, Ella. She went to Springfield today on her school trip with her mommy, and they got to go to the state capitol, and they got to go to Lincoln's Memorial, and Lincoln's where Lincoln lived, and she got to go to Lincoln's outhouse. This is her just coming out of it. I thought that was priceless. I said, well, Ron, that crap would be going almost 200 years old.
You gotta remember, when I went there, it'd be nothing to see an outdoor.
Yeah, it was nothing for an outdoor crapper when Ron went there. When people said, oh, look at this is Abe's outdoor crapper. Ron says, I got one in my backyard. I know you put the reading of Bruce up here, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Intel only. We have some intel, and Bruce questions why they need the need for an ID. And Bruce had a question. What they need ID at the Ars Redemption Center. He's telling you that's what you need. They pretty much know who you are with the KYC. Picture ID, driver's license, and maybe passport. And may or may not be a utility bill that will have your address on it. But just takes things with you. What does it matter? My feelings is, what does it matter what you take? If they need it, you got it, in, out, and going. The KYC should be done in less than a minute. So then your currency count and go from there. There are no stations. You stay put, and 3 or 4 people are dealing with you. To get all this smoothly, you'll have time to do a short presentation, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. And if you're going in there, this is what I'm going to suggest you do. If you go in there and you're going to work, and I'm going to use Cindy as an example. Cindy goes in, she takes her currency. When she hands them her currency, Cindy should also have a paper with everything on it that she's handing them. When she hands it, she says, I cannot promise that everything is 100% exact. Because let's say Cindy has 457, I have no idea where that number come from, 457 Venezuelan Bolivar. But when they count him, she only has 455. You're not going to lose any sleep over something like that. But when you give them the paper and you give them the currency, you have the same thing, and you have them sign who's counting it. If they come back and they say, well, you know, Mr. Anderson or Cindy, whichever, this currency here is no good. Okay. Can I have it? Well, no, it's no good. No, but I bought it. I have the bill of sale here saying I bought it. It's mine. Do not let them keep anything. All of a sudden they may change and say, well, let me see if I can find someone and see why it's not any good. I'm not saying they're going to do this, guys. I'm trying to prepare you. Take everything I just said, your driver's license, your ID, if you have a picture on it, take your utility bill, take your passport if you have one. Take whatever if you take too much, what does it matter if you take too much? It doesn't matter. The whole thing is about getting you in and getting you out. Now, I brought Cindy up because I know Cindy's going to work humanitarian projects with Ron and myself and the Patriot 5, Patriot 6 humanitarian group. So if Cindy's not doing any other humanitarian groups, she can say something like this: "Well, I'd like to make a presentation of what I'm going to do. It won't take but a minute or two." And she says, "I'm going to be working with Patriot 5, Patriot 6 humanitarian group. I need X amount of money to go to their group or to me, and then I'll pass it on to their group. And I need this for X amount of years. Also, I'm very interested in donating money as long as I make sure it gets to the right people. And I would like to have access to the money I would like for these special beds to maybe donate $5 billion a year for the next 100 years." She tells them what she wants. She tells them the amount. She tells them the year. Now, she has just done her humanitarian project. Now, she will also say, "I will be working with the Patriot 5, Patriot 6 humanitarian group. If you have any questions, this is their contact information. You contact them and they will fill you in on everything that's going to happen." As time goes on, I want Cindy to also stand up and say, "Look, since I have this much currency, I'm having this much money to go into humanitarian projects. There is other projects that I'm looking to work with Patriot 5 and Patriot 6 when we start getting other things. We want to involve people all over, not just the United States, but the world, to not just rebuild America and make America great again, but to rebuild the world." And just a little, 2-3 minute presentation. They like what she says. They give things. Now, another thing, when you go to this redemption center, they're going to put your money in a special card. They're going to put your money in this. You can move it in. If you have a bank account, where I go, I'm going to say, "Can I open a bank account here?" Yes. Okay. I want to transfer that much over. I want to transfer this much over. I'm even going to take my two brothers' bank accounts, or my one brother, Ron. I'm going to take his bank account and see if I can transfer. They say you can transfer into 3 or 4 different banks. Once it's all done, all the money's put in, they're going to explain to you what you need to do to get everything set up the way you need it get set up, and then you're going to move forward. But don't go in thinking, "Oh, they're out to get me." They're not out to get no one. This isn't something. They're making a nice little chunk of change on everything. And I know Mike Davis just received some more currency. And the currency that he received and the golden dragon bonds that he's done and everything that he's done, Mike Davis is going to have a very, and I'm not going into how much he got. I just know Mike Davis did a lot what I did. He gave up things that he used to do so he could do things now. People say, "Well, you're being greedy that you went out and got." No, I'm not. I want to help people all over the world. The girl that I write in the Ukraine, me and her were talking in our last couple of letters about the possibility of not just bringing her over, her best friend and her 2 kids over, her mom over, but any other people legally who wants to come to the United States for the freedom and to live in the greatest country in the world. We just might buy some farmland and build them their own little town, their own little community, putting a store in there. And we can do this all over The world, it doesn't have to be do it for someone in here. If people have friends in other countries, we can help people everywhere if we all come together and unite as one. This what I'm about ready to read you is from Judy Bidington, compiled the 23rd of April, 2025. Judy is the lady who wrote the 22 personalities of Jenny Hill and her multiple personalities, a very, very sad case. But before I get into Judy, I did want to talk one more thing about these beds, or a few more things. Someone said, do you really believe they're real? And I said, yes, I do. I've talked to someone who's been trained on them. When do you think we'll get them? And I said, before HE double toothpick freezes over. I don't know. I said, we keep being told. But I'm going to go with these beds the same way I'm going to the finish line for the everything else. And I'm going to go to these beds for that reason, because, see, when they say we're going to get them, when they say they're going to be real, when they say we're going to be able to get on them, when they say we're going to be able to put our animals on them, when they tell us all of this good stuff, and it actually happens. It's just like that show, Little Giants. It only has to happen one time. We're not looking for something over and over and over again. We're looking for one time for someone to actually get on them. And it may be you. Janet, it may be you. One Voice, it may be you. Jeffrey, it may be you. And that's as far as I can go, because that's all the names I can see. I'm sure we have others on. I see we're up to 86 people. And I feel very humble, very, I don't know what the word I want. That starting, and now we're up to 93, that this many people over an hour after the show starts came out to be on this show. And I've noticed that we've been getting 1,000, 1,500 or more people. People are commenting in the comment section under the video. And, things are moving in the right direction. Yes, some of the new people coming in, I do believe are bots. For the person the other day, I hope you didn't take it the wrong way, but there was I don't know if it was a gentleman or a lady, said, are black people allowed to speak on here? Well, see, black people around me are allowed to speak anywhere they want. I don't care about a color of someone's skin. I'll treat you with respect. You treat us with respect. That's all I'm asking. If you're new here, get with Janet. Get with somebody who's got a wrench by them and just chat with them. Even if you got to say, hey, can we chat on Messenger? Because we use a few code words here. You might not know what I mean by when I say the hat, or sleepy, or dopey. You might not know what I mean by other things, the special beds. So if you need questions answered, we're more than willing to answer them. So Judy says, trust the plan. Military is the only way. Return of Q equals the plan to save the world. Q clock ends Tuesday, 20th May, 2025 at 11:11. Everything converges toward Q. That was from Julian Assange on Telegram, Tuesday, 22nd of April, 2025. Which he put that up on April 22nd, 2025. But he said the return of the Q clock ends Tuesday, the 20th. So I'm assuming, since he waited 2 days afterwards, it's done. The operation was successful. WWG1GA NCSWIC equals freedom. Judy note, presently the U.S. was under military occupation in a continuity government operation, EBS activation, global currency reset, Big G, Big N, and the special beds rollout was intimate as the deep state faced defeat with arrest of close to 8 million on a CIA database. This is allowing the White Hats to win the war, good against evil, by way of kicking off the greater transfer of wealth in the history of mankind. Throughout April, hundreds of cabal banks were expected to fall, with Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd through the 26th, fast approaching as the target of the global financial crash. Prior to that, the EBS was set to activate across the globe so it could trigger the global currency reset and open the door for long-awaited Big N freedom from debt announcement on behalf of the people. This stuff I can't read. Tuesday, 22nd, 2025, midnight, red hats on Telegram. The emergency protocols are still running, not for your safety, for theirs. Every financial node is under lockdown. Data cables are being severed. Servers are going dark. What we think we know as of Wednesday, 23rd April 2025, April showers bring May / boom, boom, global tariffs challenge, boom, 2, boom, U.S. confronts CCP, threat 3, boom, POPE and WEF ended, 4, boom, Paul Zelensky ended a week to remember, dark evil to light, good blackout, necessary Q. Tuesday, 22nd April 2025, Welsh actor Jonathan Pryce has been playing the role of you know who that just left us, supposedly. According to Q+, the battle is not over. There are still covenant members operating neighborhoods right now. They are funded by U.S. taxpayer dollars through the three-letter agency starting with C and ending in A. That system is now collapsing. Fast and pray. Millions of children are still being rescued. May God bless the Hat and his Q battalion of warriors who right now are finalizing the plan to save the children. Nothing can stop what's coming. The storm is here. Possible timing, Tuesday, 22 April 2025, digital ID rollout begins. Wednesday, 23 2025, power grid transfers begin. Nuclear and Tesla space systems phase in. Thursday, 24 April, 177 nations sign unity treaty. Planetary Council announced deep state divided. We unite. New global alliance leaders step forward. Friday, 25 April to Monday, 5 May, blackouts, international tribunals, and much more. Saturday, 26 April, Q era officially declared national law reigns. Gold standard returns. Borders realignments underway. National Guards and military engineers established. Safe zone migration ID verification stations. Sunday, 27th April, secret space ops go public. April 28th to May 11, free energy deployment. QFS banks operational. Governments dissolved and replaced with service cells. Special beds, DNA restoration, human potential unlocked. And then there's a few more things, guys. But as I said, I didn't want to make this a very long one. We're at 45 minutes. So I'm going to end in prayer. I'm going to end in prayer and let everyone, go about their night. It is 14 minutes to 10 Eastern time now. So I'm wanting to get this over. I do thank everyone. We have 97 people. I guess part of me was kind of hoping we'd hit 100, but we might have. I haven't been looking at the screen. I've been reading. Just remember one thing: we only have to have it happen one time. Bruce did also say last night, that was one thing I do know of. He said that we are in a fact where he is expecting to possibly do a small celebration call tomorrow. So with what he's saying there, with what T. Tony saying, Mark Z sent out about 6 tidbits, little videos, not more than 15 or 20 seconds long, really justifying what we've been talking about tonight with TNT and Bruce last night. So all I can say is, let's hope and pray. Let's keep our vibrations high. Let's know that we are closer now than I believe we've ever been before. If it doesn't happen, we'll be back Friday night. Should be back on regular time. And for that, dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, we're just going to make the prayer plain and simple. Look after all the children, Lord, 100% of the children, all the people that's seeking your help and needing your help, Lord. Look after them. And let's all cross the finish line together as family, friends, and loved ones, and make your world like you've always wanted it, heaven on earth, as we pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. We love you all.